Today we're going to be looking at two paintings. Let us dive in on the painting on the left-hand side titled My Nurse and I by Frida Kahlo, created in 1937. This painting currently resides at the Dolores Olmedo collection in Mexico City. A little background on Frida. She was born on July 6, 1907 in Culiacan, Mexico City. Frida contracted polio at the young age of 6 years old. After her recovery, Frida was left limping since the disease had affected her right leg and foot. In 1925, when Frida was 18 years old, she suffered a bus accident which affected her hip, pelvis, and spine. Frida was inspired to paint after this bus accident. In 1929, Frida married Diego Rivera. She had previously met him in 1922 and reconnected in 1928. Frida and Rivera divorced and remarried, and throughout their marriage, they mainly remained separated. Frida truly desired to have children of her own. However, she suffered many miscarriages and never bore any children. Frida died in 1954. Her cause of death is believed to be of a pulmonary embolism. Frida is now remembered as a Mexican activist, a feminist icon, and an amazing painter we all know today. Now let us dive in more into the painting titled My Nurse and I. The painting displays a self-portrait of a baby with an adult-faced Frida and her wet nurse, also known as a nana in Spanish, which means caregiver. The woman's face is covered with a pre-Columbian mask, which doesn't allow us to see the woman's actual face expressions, leaving us to wonder whether she enjoys nursing Frida or not. The woman seems to be just doing her job as a wet nurse with no enjoyment in the process. In the painting, Frida and the wet nurse seem to have a cold and distant relationship. Usually, a woman and a child will develop a bond while nursing. However, there doesn't seem to be any warmth or love resonating from the painting itself. In the painting, we can see Frida's full grown head, which brings curiosity to the painting, possibly leading to the fact that she doesn't remember what she looked like as a child, or possibly doesn't have any pictures of her childhood. In the painting, we can see the woman's mammary glands. On the right breast, we can see the milk being produced to feed Frida. And on the left breast, we can see droplets of milk falling down on Frida's leg and dress. We can also see the milk raindrops in the background of the painting, producing vegetation. To me, this signifies growth and possibly the pain and endurance that Frida had to go through her lifetime. So meaning the raindrops falling down can be this sadness, but then the growth of the vegetation can also be her own personal growth. And although the colors are bright, like the vegetation, Frida's white dress, and even the big milky leaf in the background, the painting still portrays darkness, sadness, and loneliness. Overall, this painting was quite interesting to look at. The painting itself really jumped out to me because I recently stopped breastfeeding my 2 year old son, which was such a beautiful yet tiring time in my life. To me, nursing a child creates a bond that can never be broken and provides protection, love, and care. So when I found this painting and saw such dull faces on both the wet nurse and Frida, I knew I had to learn more about it. When I initially saw the painting, I thought it was a self portrait of Frida and her mother. However, I then learned it was a self portrait of Frida and her wet nurse, which leads me to believe that Frida didn't have a good relationship with her mother. I think Frida had to endure through many hardships and trials in her life, which led her to become the amazing painter we all know today. Now let us dive into the painting on the right hand side, titled The Rural School Teacher by Diego Rivera, created in 1932. A small background on Diego Rivera. He was born in 1886 in Guanajuato, Mexico. Rivera started drawing and painting from a young age. In 1907, he was able to travel to Europe through a grant he'd earned by his own artwork. Rivera returned to Mexico in 1921, 14 years after his departure to Europe. During the time he was in Europe in 1910, the Mexican Revolution began and lasted for about a decade. When Rivera returned to Mexico, he was one of the contributors to promote Mexican art and also promote public mural programs. As we previously learned, Rivera married Frida in 1929, and after her death in 1954, he shortly passed in 1957. Now, let us dive into the artwork itself. The artwork, the rural school teacher displays a group of people of all ages, young men, old men, women, and children sitting on the floor in an open field. The people are being guided by an indigenous woman like themselves. We can see the people looking up to the woman as she tries to teach them with an open book in her hand. We can also see one of the women taking notes diligently. The painting doesn't have much color since it's in black and white. However, we can see the contrast between black and white in the painting. The woman's clothing is dark and thick, perhaps stating that it is wintertime or cold outside. The men are wearing light white long sleeves. One of the men is wearing overalls, perhaps stating he is one of the workers. In the background, we can see horses and men working in the field. We can also see a man on a horse with a rifle in his hand, maybe betraying that this is the time during the Mexican Revolution. Some of the men working in the background have white long sleeves, while others have dark long sleeves. This could be stating the difference among the workers or the type of work that they are doing. Although the painting was created in 1932, many years after the Mexican War had ended, the painting seems to maybe be portraying the time when the Mexican Revolution was still present. This is probably why the woman is teaching the people outside, because during this time, education wasn't a privilege that many people had. So you can see how this woman is really trying to make a difference during this difficult time in their lives. This painting really stands out to me because it tells us that no matter what age we are, it is never too late to learn something new. To me, this painting also displays equality among the people, even though we know that wasn't really the case back then. However, this painting truly does display equality among both men and women with no importance to gender or age. To me, this painting also represents unity among the people sitting on the floor, the woman teaching the people, the workers working the field, and even the man guarding the people. I think that this is what Diego Rivera wanted to display in this painting, that his people were resilient and that no matter what difficulty they had to endure, they could overcome as long as they remained together as a nation. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you guys enjoy my presentation.